Hi Denise, it's Susan. I'm here with Kevin Potter. He's done several measurements in the garage area, so here's kind of a summary of it.
Okay, I've been here on Sweetbriar for maybe about a half hour. We've taken measurements of the ceiling in the garage, and we took elevation measurements, and we determined that the left front corner of the garage has dropped about 5/8 of an inch compared to the other three corners. And so based on those elevation measurements, plus based on the way the drywall has cracked, it's indicating that there's been foundation settlement under the left front corner of the garage and along the left side wall, extending back to approximately where the vertical drywall crack is located. We also took elevation measurements on top of the floor slab in the garage and found that the top of the concrete slab of the left front corner is about an inch lower than the slab elevation under the middle of the overhead door. So it looks like the slab, the soil back and material under the concrete slab is actually settled about an inch there at the left front corner, and the settlement at that left front corner has actually caused the slab to raise up right in the center of the garage where the two saw cut joints intersect each other. It's caused this to flip up about 5/8 of an inch. So the left front quadrant of the floor slab has rotated downward at the left front corner and then rotated upward where the four sections of the floor slab cross each other here in the center of the garage. We did go out and probe the depth of the footing on the outside, and we found that the foundation wall of the garage is 3 blocks in height, which is 24 inches in height. But 1 block is showing on the outside, so we've got about 16 inches from the top of the ground to the top of the concrete footing. So the footing depth does appear to meet local frost depth requirement, which is 24 inches from the top of the ground to the bottom of the footing, but it would probably just barely meet that requirement. We did notice that there is the surface drainage conditions at the left front corner of the garage are not very good. The downspout outlet dumps out onto a concrete splash block, and there's kind of a low area there where it does look like water would possibly stand after a heavy rain. We also noticed that the house to the north sits about a foot higher than the subject property, and that the downspout at the front corner of their house is pointed directly toward the left front garage corner on the subject house. So I think we're getting some water directed over here from the neighboring house, which is only about 10 feet away. The houses are pretty close together here. So I think this drainage condition has probably been one of the causes of this settlement problem. I think if we don't do any structural corrections based on the drainage conditions that we have now, I would say there would continue to be foundation settlement in the future. And in order to correct the problem, the best remedies would be to install steel pier underpinning under the foundations on the left side of the garage, starting at the front corner and going back along the left side wall about 12 feet to where the crack is located in the drywall. I told the realtors that it would take 3 to 4 steel piers to support and lift that section at and the steel piers cost about $1,000 a piece. And then as far as the garage floor slab, really the only effective way to correct the way the slab is misaligned and settled would be to remove and replace this left front quadrant of the floor and pour it back so that it's level with the other sections of the floor slab that it butts up against. Part of this repair too, I think, should involve some drainage improvements, like extending the downspout at this left front corner further away, and maybe talking to the neighbors, see if they would be willing to extend their downspout and direct it away from the subject property. Possibly also, it would be a very good idea, since we've got about 8 inches of concrete blocks showing on the outside, it would be good to maybe add some more dirt out here up against the block wall, maybe about 4 more inches of dirt, and it would be nice, and slope that away to get some of this water away from the foundation. So that's a pretty much completes my summary of my inspection of the garage here on Sweetbriar.
Can you give us the names again? You mentioned it before I started to tape, of people that could potentially, if they chose to do that work, that could potentially do it?
Well, I can send these to you also, but for the contractors that do the steel piering would be Indiana Foundation Service, AccuLevel, United Dynamics, Dwyer Concrete Lifting, and then there is a contractor that here in Bloomington that just recently started installing steel piers. His name's Troy Rogers. So there are several companies available for that work.
Okay, awesome. Thanks a lot.